$1,000 a month. That's the number we're examining today. Not because it's magic. Not because everyone can afford it. But because the math of what $1,000 a month becomes over 20 years is so extraordinary that most people, when they see it, immediately reorganize their financial priorities. By the end of this video, you'll either be relieved that you're already doing this, or you'll be asking yourself one very uncomfortable question: where is my $1,000 going instead? First, the honest question: is $1,000 a month realistic for most people? The median U.S. household income is around $74,000 per year, about $6,200 per month after basic taxes. $1,000 is roughly 16% of that income. Financial planners traditionally recommend saving 15 to 20% of gross income. So yes, for the median American household, $1,000 a month in investments is achievable. Not always easy. Not always comfortable. But achievable. And if $1,000 feels out of reach right now, stay for the numbers at $500 and $250, because the principle scales in every direction. For this experiment, we're investing $1,000 per month in a simple S&P 500 index fund, specifically something like VOO or VTI, and assuming a 10% average annual return, which is the historical long-term average of the U.S. stock market. We're not assuming you pick the right stocks. We're not assuming you time the market. We're assuming you buy the entire market consistently, every month, and don't touch it. That's the whole strategy. Now let's see what it does. The first 5 years feel slow. After year 1, $12,566. After year 2, $26,544. After year 3, $41,976. After year 4, $58,910. After year 5, $77,437. You've put in $60,000 of your own money and have $77,437, a gain of about $17,000. That feels modest. But here's what's happening underneath: you now have $77,437 that is working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every day of the year. That base is what makes everything that follows possible. Years 5 through 10 is where you start to feel the engine turn over. After year 6, $98,016. After year 7, $120,130. After year 8, $143,900. After year 9, $169,453. After year 10, $196,925. You've now contributed $120,000 of your own money. Your account holds $196,925. The market has added nearly $77,000 on top of your contributions. And here's the key: in year 10 alone, your investment earns roughly $17,900, almost as much as 2 months of your contributions, without you doing anything. Here's the number. After 20 years of $1,000 per month at 10% annual return, $687,299. You contributed $240,000 of your own money. The market contributed $447,299, almost twice what you put in. Your money has nearly tripled. But more importantly, in year 20 alone, your portfolio earns roughly $62,000 in investment returns. That's $5,167 per month, generated automatically, without any additional contribution from you. You are now at the point where your investments are earning more per month than many people earn from working. What if you keep going past 20 years? After 25 years, $1,181,996. After 30 years, $1,973,000. After 35 years, $3,236,000. After 40 years, $5,230,000. The numbers become almost surreal in the later years because the base has grown so large that even 10% returns on it generate enormous absolute amounts. At year 35, your portfolio earns roughly $294,000 in a single year, $24,500 per month, from doing nothing. $1,000 a month, started consistently, doesn't just create wealth. It eventually creates income that exceeds what most people earn from working. Not everyone can do $1,000 a month. Let's scale down. $500 per month at 10% for 20 years, $343,000. For 30 years, $986,000, nearly $1 million. $250 per month for 30 years, $493,000. Even $100 per month for 30 years, $197,000. The principle scales in every direction. Start with what you have. Increase as your income grows. The habit matters more than the amount. A person who invests $100 a month consistently and increases it as they earn more will almost always outperform someone who waits until they can afford $1,000. Everything we've calculated assumes a taxable brokerage account. Now add the tax advantage layer. In a Roth IRA, contribution limit $7,000 per year, or about $583 per month. Every dollar of growth is permanently tax-free. On a $687,000 portfolio, the tax savings in a Roth versus a taxable account over 20 years can amount to $100,000 or more depending on your tax rate. In a traditional 401k, you get an immediate tax deduction on contributions, reducing your taxable income today. If your employer matches, that's an additional instant return on top of market performance. These structures don't change the market math, they amplify it. Let's get concrete about where $1,000 a month comes from. The average American spends $200 on dining out, $150 on subscriptions and entertainment, $150 on clothing beyond necessities, $200 on impulse purchases, $300 on upgraded housing, car, or phone beyond functional needs. Total, $1,000 in discretionary spending per month. This isn't about eliminating joy. It's about recognizing that $1,000 in discretionary spending today is a choice between present comfort and potentially $687,000 in 20 years. Sometimes present comfort wins, and that's legitimate. But it should be a conscious choice, not a default. A fair objection: $687,000 in 20 years won't buy what $687,000 buys today. True. Adjusting for 3% annual inflation, the real purchasing power of $687,000 in 20 years is equivalent to about $380,000 today. Still extraordinary. Still nearly 4 times what you contributed in real terms. And remember, in year 20, your portfolio is generating $62,000 per year in returns, which also grows over time. The inflation-adjusted income from a $687,000 portfolio at 4% withdrawal rate is about $27,000 per year in today's dollars, a meaningful income supplement or, combined with other sources, a path to financial independence. Financial independence researchers identified what's called the 4% rule. You can withdraw 4% of your portfolio annually with a very high probability of never running out of money over a 30-year retirement. At $687,000, your 20-year result, 4% is $27,480 per year, or $2,290 per month. Combined with Social Security or other income, this is meaningful financial flexibility. At $1.97 million, your 30-year result, 4% is $78,800 per year, or $6,567 per month. At this level, for most people, work becomes truly optional. That's what $1,000 a month actually buys, not just a number, but freedom. Let's run $1,000 a month starting at different ages, retiring at 65. Starting at 25, 40 years, result, $5,230,000. Starting at 30, 35 years, result, $3,236,000. Starting at 35, 30 years, result, $1,973,000. Starting at 40, 25 years, result, $1,182,000. Starting at 45, 20 years, result, $687,000. Starting at 50, 15 years, result, $381,000. Every 5 years of delay costs roughly half the final result. This is the most important table in personal finance. Not because it should create regret for those starting late, but because it should create urgency for everyone who hasn't started yet. Here's the honest psychological truth about building this kind of wealth: it's boring. For years, nothing dramatic happens. The account grows. You check it. It's bigger. You keep going. There's no exciting moment where you suddenly feel rich. There's just a slowly growing number that one day, usually sometime in years 7 to 10, crosses a threshold where the investment returns are large enough to feel real and motivating. Before that threshold, the discipline is the practice. After it, the momentum carries you. Here's a comparison that reframes the whole picture. The average American car payment is $726 per month. The average dining out spend is around $200 per month. The average subscription spend is $150 per month. That's $1,076 per month, more than our investment target, going to things that produce zero long-term financial return. We don't think of these as major financial decisions because each one feels small. But collectively, the decision to drive a modest car and eat at home most nights and cancel unused subscriptions is worth $687,000 over 20 years. Small decisions compound just like money does. Practically, where does the $1,000 come from? For most people, it's a combination of routes. Increasing income, one additional income stream, a raise negotiated, a higher paying role. Reducing major expenses, car downgrade, housing optimization, one fewer subscription tier. Redirecting existing savings, money sitting in a low-yield savings account that should be invested. Capturing employer match, money you're leaving on the table in your 401k. For most people who run this exercise honestly, they find the $1,000 isn't created from nothing. It's redirected from lower value uses they barely notice. Once you find your $1,000, the most important decision you make is to never decide again. Set up the automatic transfer. On the first of every month, $1,000 moves from your checking account to your investment account and buys index fund shares automatically. No monthly decision. No temptation to skip when expenses feel tight. No emotional response to market news. The discipline of consistent investing is not a character trait, it's an infrastructure decision you make once. Let's make the destination concrete. At 20 years with $687,000, at a 4% withdrawal rate, you have $27,480 per year, $2,290 per month, in portfolio income. Combined with continued work, this creates options. Work part-time doing something you love. Take a lower-paying job with more meaning. Take a sabbatical to travel or pursue a project. Handle a job loss without panic. Support a family member who needs help. Care for aging parents without financial strain. The $687,000 doesn't just grow in an account. It buys optionality, the most valuable financial asset most people never acquire. Here's your concrete starting point. This week, open a Roth IRA at Fidelity or Schwab if you don't have one. Set up a recurring monthly transfer of whatever you can manage: $100, $250, $500, $1,000. By VTI or VOO. Set a calendar reminder for 6 months from now to increase the contribution by $50 or $100. That's it. The goal isn't to immediately invest $1,000 if you can't. The goal is to start the habit at whatever level is honest and increase it systematically over time. In 20 years, the difference between starting today and starting next year is not $12,000. It's $62,000. $1,000 a month is not a lottery ticket. It's not a get-rich scheme. It's the result of 1,000 consistent monthly decisions to prioritize your future self over your present self, multiplied by time and compounded by the mathematics of market returns. In 20 years, $1,000 a month becomes $687,000. In 30 years, it becomes nearly $2 million. Not because you got lucky. Because you got consistent. And consistency, it turns out, is the only financial superpower that's available to everyone. How much are you currently investing per month honestly? Comment below. Whether it's $0 or $2,000, I want to know where you're starting from. Like this video if the math moved you. Subscribe for more, and if you want to understand why your brain makes this so hard, that video is right here.